everybody, and welcome to Green Cowboy, where we talk about cannabis. My name is Elliot, and this is
My Steven, we are taking you to greener pastures.
The Pasture is Green. So today we're going to talk about the honeymoon phase and how it's over, and financials and branding.
I don't see the split screen.
I don't see. Okay, so let's get into honeymoon. The honeymoon phase is over, guys. It's real number time. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Canadian stocks and how now they have to prove what they've been doing this entire time. I know earlier we were talking about how Canopy didn't have the greatest financials, and Aurora had slightly better financials. My take on this, before my little Steven has his take, is that Aurora, knowing their stock price was going to get slaughtered to hell, decided we need to put some rec on there and show that we're selling stuff, show that we mean business. Where Canopy was more of the fact that we already know we're selling, we're doing well. We're not going to put any of it on this quarter and make the next quarter look even better without the slight sales that we made. What do you think, Steven?
I am not at all shocked, honestly, at the numbers. And do we have split screen on? Are we on? We're going live. We're going live. Okay, we are live. Yeah, I don't honestly, the numbers didn't surprise me at all. You can't really use these numbers as a good indicator, honestly, because they have basically no recreational sales. I mean, the quarter ended for these guys in October, so what are they only having like 2 weeks maybe of recreational? That's on what we saw as financials. So I mean, you have to pretty much look out for the next quarter and then the following quarter after that. In honesty, if you want real numbers, so everyone's freaking out. I wouldn't bother freaking out at all.
Yeah, they're on a spending craze right now because they know they have to ramp up production and get ready for the recreational and medicinal market, which they can't support one, let alone the other at this point. I guess they were able to support the medical market, but the recreational market is a completely new beast in the sense that they have to spend. And luckily, companies like Canopy have a $5 billion war chest because Constellation Brands threw them money. And I bet you that every corporate officer that knew the date of October 17th being right there at the end of quarter four knew we're going to have terrible financials. It's just how it's going to be.
I mean, it was bound to happen. I don't know why anyone was so surprised about it. I mean, I can understand the market's reaction to and it dipping and whatnot, but I would say we got some BOGO deals, people. I mean, honestly, if you're looking to get in, now is the time.
Yeah.
Now is absolutely the time to get in. We got BOGO sales everywhere going on before the next financials come out and explode.
The Canadian hype train is over. The time to ride the wave of hype, and I mean that's really what it was since last August. It's just hype, and sell on the news type of thing. I think that's for the most part, it's pretty much dead. Now they have to prove what they have, and I think the companies that have the cheapest gram. The cheapest production per gram is probably going to do the best. Like Afria saying that they're below $1. That's going to be really good. That's going to be really helpful in the financials. So we'll see if we can produce at the lowest cost at the highest quality.
Afria says, "Fuck the people. We're just going to produce a bunch of robots that can do everything and cut down the price significantly." Hey, that's their agenda, but they will have. Yeah, a significant.
Speaking of fuck the people, how about fuck the government? You want to talk about that swamp thing, Terry Booth crawling out of the pond to give us a message?
That honestly is probably one of the better stories for this week that's come out. So basically, where were they at? Ontario.
Background: Aurora, run by Terry Booth, CEO and Chief Corporate Officer Cam Batley. But go on, I'm just filling them in.
Where were they? Yeah, so they were Ontario, BC retail cannabis rollouts in profanity-laced appearance in Vegas. So Terry Booth was just basically saying that the CEO of Aurora Cannabis says that Ontario and British Columbia shat the bed when rolling out their retail models for recreational cannabis, and that the only provinces that got it right were Alberta and perhaps Saskatchewan. He went on to say and do more. But I think this is hilarious. People are getting all fucked about it. But it's true. Ontario did shit the bed. The man is only speaking the truth. But you don't want that man to speak the truth.
I want all of you to look up a picture of Terry Booth because he looks like he just ate a tray of sausages and jumped out of a sauna. Like, he looks like just this disgusting fucking person. And then there's Cam Batley, the fucking swordsman of the written or the spoken word. The man can talk about anything. Like in Tommy Boy, they say that he could that Big Tom Callahan could sell catch a popsicle to a woman in white gloves. That's Cam Batley. The man can freaking talk. And he's like all articulate, and then Terry Booth is like, yeah, they're like, fucked us on this one. Big swampy bastard. You know who he reminds me of? Is Shitty Bill.
Can you imagine the dynamic between them two when like Batley is just in an office with Terry Booth, and Terry Booth is, or Batley is more like very like smooth, being like, oh, Terry, like, should we should probably go about doing it this way? And then Terry's probably like, oh, fuck that, Cam. You're going to fucking listen to me, and this is what you're going to fucking say. And Batley's
We're
probably
buy everything. We're
okay.
going to buy people's babies. So
that dynamic has to be pretty funny.
Yeah, it would be. There could be a sitcom about it, for sure. So yeah, and so about Ontario, I think what they were really alluding to, excuse me.
Laura does dilute, so.
Yeah. Heyo. Is that so basically Doug Ford, who is Rob Ford's brother. Who here remembers Rob Ford? I remember Rob Ford. There's a nice video of him smoking crack on YouTube before his untimely death.
Really?
Of him smoking crack. I wanted to show the video, but I can't show my screen. Yeah, of him smoking crack. So Rob Ford was like the mayor of Toronto or something like that. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And he got caught smoking crack, and his excuse was it must have been one of my drunken stupors. So anyway, his brother Doug is now what is he? Is he mayor of Toronto?
I believe so.
Let's say he's mayor of Toronto. Well, that works for me. He's a politician in Ontario, and he decided months ago that they were going to keep Ontario as a government-run cannabis facility only, the OCS, the Ontario Cannabis Store, which is where people were buying their cannabis from. And then like a month or two before legalization, he's like, no, maybe we should let the private sector have it. And by doing that, he didn't leave them enough time for branding or anything. So it really screwed over us shareholders because no one can prove that they have a better product or even try and make it look better.
Yeah, no, I mean their rollout's been honestly has shit the bed.
At least
I can read something right from like their their global news. In September, the progressive conservative government said licensed growers and their affiliates may not hold more than one retail location between them located at a production facility. I mean, that right there is already pretty significantly limiting,
So we'd like to talk about U.S. cannabis stocks on this channel because that's sort of the greener pasture that us Cowboys are grazing to. And my hope, above almost everything, because I mean we both truly believe that legalization is going to be coming soon, is that the government does not regulate branding like they did in Canada. Excuse me, because that's going to hurt us shareholders terribly.
That would be a mess.
Yeah, it'll be a total mess. What they need to do is just say, you know what, it's a private business. Just take private retail and then brand it. Don't hide it under a rock because that's one thing that Canada didn't do right. And honestly, I feel like they did. We would have seen a lot more profit.
Yeah, I mean, I think the challenge is going to be the fact that there's all these different states. I mean, 50 states that are going to have all different kinds of their own regulation. And I think that's the best way to do it, but it might make it a little difficult, for the big guys to spread. Because they're going to have to run through all the different regulations of each state individually, which they're already doing now, but it's not, it's just not going to be like centralized.
Short term, it's going to be a disaster. I mean, it just is. It's a brand new political, whatever you want to call it. It's brand new industry. It's going to be crazy because we have 50 states. Canada, and like I said, they have like 6 fucking provinces where they have legal recreational cannabis or whatever. And it was a mess because they had all different frameworks. Now imagine 50 states. So we need the federal hood like Canada had to go ahead and say go for it, and then hopefully states can sort of agree. At least states within the same region can agree on trade and how they want to allow branding. And it won't be because I mean, and the weird thing is in the United States there's still dry counties. Salt Lake City, I've been there, and you can't drink there. They don't serve alcohol. So who knows?
There's some like that in Massachusetts too, actually, that you just drive through and it's like you can't buy anything, can't buy any alcohol. Yeah, no, that's nuts. Absolutely insane. They got to get it right though. I mean, I think they're already on their way. So the next portion is the United States.
That's where we're grazing to. That's where we're green Cowboys.
That's where we're gonna graze.
That's what green Cowboys. I'm a green cowboy.
Now, what U.S. companies would you recommend for these lovely viewers that we have?
Spliff all day because they are just the best. No, don't buy Spliff. Fuck Spliff.
Yeah,
no,
do not buy Spliff.
I think we between him and I we have a list of Green Thumb Industries. Liberty Health Sciences on the sole fact that Aurora or Afria once owned them and had to give them up because Dick Vic called the Canadian exchanges a bunch of crybabies. So they had to spin them off before they could stay on the TSX. There's Ianthus, which is going to be a beast now that they're mixing with MPX.
Ianthus. Love Ianthus. By the way, every dispensary that I've walked into, MPX is raved about, like all of their products. So I mean, they were sold in GTI dispensaries, which is Green Thumb, and then I'm sure they're sold in Ianthus dispensaries and Curaleaf. I've also heard they're sold in there as well. So they're pretty big. But as he said, they're now merging with Ianthus, so that just makes those two a powerhouse. Ianthus specifically. Yeah.
Yeah. And who else we got? I know you were saying you have a lot of faith in Trulieve and Cura.
Well, I don't know too much about Cura, but Trulieve is, I think, going to be pretty big. They're already pretty dominant in their revenues, and that's just being in Florida. Their last quarter, they had 30 million in revenue, and I mean, which is basically equivalent to Aurora right now. So, and that's just in one state. One state. That's crazy.
And Acreage is coming out this week, or it's coming out this week on the exchange. Huh?
They IPO'd Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday, and they have a lot of political pull, like we said, having John Boners.
John Boner.
And the former president or former prime minister of Canada. And but they only have 10 million in revenue from what I understand, which is not enough for me to say, yeah, that's worth a $25 price point. So we're personally staying off of that IPO, especially with the current market not looking too hot at the moment. So as soon as that comes back down, I will probably throw my money in the pot.
They gotta come down to like 25. 25 is a little bit of a steep price to pay.
Yeah.
And IPOing it, like, I think they IPO'd at like 18 or 20 bucks. I mean, that's a little insane, to be honest.
I think we should bring up Tilray and why Tilray doesn't deserve to be brought up in cannabis discussions. I'm just going to say real quick, and then he can have his take on this. But Tilray is a load of fucking garbage. It is trash. They only have 10 million in revenue as well, and their stock has fluctuated between their IPO price of $17 and like $200. The only reason for that is because they're 80% owned privately by billionaires, 20% publicly traded. So they have a very low float on that sole fact. They were halted 5 times within a trading session because of that. It is not an indication of the cannabis market at all, and it shouldn't be brought up. And when I see articles like Bitcoin versus cannabis, bringing Bitcoin into this conversation isn't productive at all. It just isn't, and I don't like seeing any article that says that. And in fact, if it does, I know it's bullshit, and I'm not going to read it.
Yeah, Bitcoin. There's no comparison, really. Bitcoin, I had no idea what was driving prices up or down, at least this industry is an actual industry.
Yeah,
and you can go buy
it's a product. It's a real thing. It's something that people are going to want. And if the markets go down, people are going to smoke more of that shit. I promise.
Bitcoin, I didn't get into Bitcoin. I don't know if anyone else did out there. I'm sure a bunch of people did, but I had no idea what it was about, how it worked. So I was like, I'm not fucking.
Yeah, I'm not mocking people for making money. Like, good on them for pulling themselves out of whatever situation they were by investing in something that blew up. You know what I mean? Like, I bought some Litecoin before it went up to whatever the hell it was, and you know that was cool, but I wasn't big into it, and I never looked at it as anything other than a gamble, not an investment. Cannabis is an investment. All right, we're coming up on to 16 minutes with Green Cowboy.
Green Cowboys,
Is there anything that you want to hit first?
Definitely subscribe below. We need your subscriptions. Thank you for those who have subscribed thus far. That's awesome. We're gonna keep doing this weekly. We're thinking about putting like more content out, potentially, every couple days or like midweek and whatnot. So stay tuned. For the Green Cowboys.
But we also want you to comment. I don't care if you call us a bunch of fucks. We want you to comment. We'll read your comments. We'll read your concerns. Even if it's offensive or you're harassing us, we're gonna read it. And we're gonna have fun with it. So, in fact, our very first comment. All right, so I posted this video, and I commented on my own post saying, "Man, these guys really know cannabis," because I thought it was funny with a smiley face. Obviously, because it was me who posted it. And the first comment was, "Could have fooled me." It's still really funny to read.
That got instant downvote.
Yeah, it did. You don't like me?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Subscribe below and welcome to Green Cowboy.